Hello, what's up? Hello, guys, what's up? So, we are live again, and this time we are going to build something crazy, very good. Okay, and yeah, we are going to build that, and I'm going to introduce you to the project that we are going to start from today uh, in a bit. Just checking few analytics. I hope my audio video is fine. I think it is that I can see on my OBS. Anyways, uh, if you guys are watching this or whenever you join the stream, make sure you just, you know, say hello. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. All right, let me just push this thing up to here. And yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so what we are going to build today? We are going to build a typing test application, or a WPM calculator. That's what it is, like said, words per minute calculator. So we are going to build a CLI application for that. We'll try to be as close as the original Monkeytype, if you have like seen it. Let me just show you. So okay, I have to open this thing, right? New. Okay, I have this window as well. Okay. Yeah, so let me just, let's close all and let me just create this thing. So if you must seen this Monkeytype, you must have gone, in some point of time over this side just to test the typing speed and all, right? Is it visible? Yeah. So we are going to build something like this, not all the features, but only the words feature. The time, maybe you guys can, just improvise on that. So we are going to push this thing like on the features right now. So like, currently you can say I can just type it like this. So we are going to build the same thing. See the error, how it, generates if I just put something like any wrong word in it. So we are going to build something like that. Most of the things I already told on the last live, but that was on the mobile view. So I mean, I'll do it again. Yeah, so I can't help it like while typing. So yeah, so we are going to build something like this, and so I hope you get the idea what we are going to do here. We are going to kind of replicate the features of Monkeytype, or kind of clone Monkeytype. Few features like words and this real-time calculation of how if the word is right or wrong. So we are going to do that. So yeah, this is I opened just to show you what we are going to do, and I already have some notes from the last live, if you guys can see. Let me just put it here. Okay, so this is the words per minute calculator that we are going to build. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to take the inputs from the CLI from the user, and we'll have some kind of command like thing, just like we did our previous application of where we created sub commands and ran the CLI application like a command instead of like rather than keep asking for user input. So we are going to do that, and the command would look something like this: cargo run with a double hyphen. We will start giving the parameters like start, that for test, and 200 will be the word. Okay, so we are going to work around this thing. The next thing that we are going to do for now, we'll create a minimal thing first, then we will improvise on that. We'll create generate word function. So we are going to generate some random words. Okay, and instead of like generating entire set of random words and do all the algorithm to all these things, what we will do, we will have a fixed set of words somewhere on our constant file in an array or something, and we are going to generate indices like a number. Okay, and that number would basically pick that will be the index of the array, and we are going to pick a word from that based on this length. Then we will have a set of words that we can show, right? As you can see, this doesn't make sense whatever you are seeing here, right? These are random words. Will, think, but, tell, can, do, see, effect, form, without, and so, follow, public, into, right? So they must have a set of words somewhere, and they are just randomly picking the words and showing it to the user. So we are going to do that as well. The important thing that we have to figure out is how to track the user's key events. Okay, and we have to trace if the user is correct, and we are going to do some beautiful UI over here. Like if it's the correct word is correct, will show green or white, maybe just like that. So if I just type something correct, so it's white, right? And if I do something like this, it's red. Okay, for an error it's an red, and for a success it's white. So we are going to do something like that. If the user types the correct word, we are going to show green, and on a mismatch we are going to show red. Okay, and how do I so these are the crates that are going to help us on our way. Okay, let me just do this. So for managing the parameters and input parameters and creating the command out of it, we are going to use clap. Okay, clap is a crate that help us to do some workaround around the CLI input parameters that user basically types, and we can create commands out of it, right? You must have seen like git, right? How do we do? We say, let's say we say git add dot. Okay, so the git is the application's name, and add is basically the command that we want the git to do, and dot is the another parameter, kind of a nested sub command that tells that okay, add all the files to the tree that is going to be pushed on for the git server, right? So we are so to manage that, we'll use clap instead of using env args. We are going to use clap because it provides us a better APIs to do so. Okay, we are going to use clap for that. And last we discussed that in order to track our users key events, we are going to use a crate called Crossterm, right? I think it was that Crossterm. We just identified on that on the last mobile screen view live kind of thing. So Crossterm we are using to this we'll use this crate called Crossterm. I think this is it, just to track the key events. And we figured out some of the problems about the Crossterm, so we are going to, let me just go through them again. Let's go on the crates.io and let me search for Crossterm. Away. Crossterm, yeah, this is it, right? So let me just go through the documentation, and yeah, here we are. I hope we can kind of, so last what we figured out that I don't think we need this. Do we need this? I don't know. I haven't used Crossterm, so I think we have to some kind of do some digging up over here just to extract what we need. So one thing that we kind of were keenly looking for is to how to read the key events. Okay, so to read the key events, we eventually landed on a function called read. If I go on the events, the event module provides the functionality to read keyboard That's what we need. We don't need mouse and terminal size events. We don't need that. Maybe they can act as improvements, but first of all we need some bare minimum thing, right? So we'll read this thing. The read function returns an event immediately if available, or blocks until an event is available. So this was the issue that we discussed last, right? This was the issue that we discussed on the last call, and that was that how can we read the events, and we figured out that to read the events, basically it's a blocking operation, and to make it, we don't want our application to be stale. So so the scenario was like, if I, let me just use this. So the scenario was like this, that if I kind of started an application and I don't type anything, so the application becomes stale, because it will, wait for any event to happen. But if the event is not there, the application is kind of, it blocks, it doesn't do anything, instead of like waiting for the user to type something, right? But something also is being provided by the Crossterm, this crate, just in order to escape from this situation, right? So what we can do over here is we can do a poll on the events. So the poll function allows us to check if there is an event or there isn't any event available within the given period of time. In other words, if subsequent call to the read function will block or not. So I hope you understand it. We'll do polling because we don't want our application to be stale. So we'll poll, and the poll takes some milliseconds to it, all right, and it will wait until that millisecond, and again make the application's workflow kind of free, right? So it will only wait until the given fix of time. Now here is the catch also. The poll function is kind of smart over here. Why? Because it will not wait for the entire millisecond, it will only wait if there isn't any event, okay? But as soon as the event is passed, it will directly jump into the functionality. So for example, if I provide let's say 500 millisecond to a poll function, then it will not wait for 500 millisecond. If so, mark something over here, try to be attentive over here, that it will only wait for that event, that specific given time of period. It will only wait if there is not any event. But if there is an event, even on the second millisecond or third millisecond of the of that loop, that function that we are going to use, it will then quickly jump onto the functionality rather than waiting for another 50 milliseconds. All right, so this is very helpful. So I mean, that will make our application kind of look like a real time, just like this thing, Monkeytype. All right, so it is not allowed to call these function from different threads or combine with event stream. You are allowed to either use read and poll function on any but same thread. So it says that you cannot like pass these things in between the threads. You have to be on the same thread to use this thing, okay? Either you have to use event stream or either you have to use read and poll. So basically we will use read and poll. So we don't want it to be like multi-threaded. Who needs it? Because we are already polling it. So yeah, so basically we will use a single threaded application. I mean, the basic thing that we do, but the only thing that we need over here is basically a poll. So we'll poll it. All right. So this is the blocking read function that you can see on your screen. Okay, the blocking read over here is doing this thing, match. And why are we looping this? Because we want like to read the events until as long as the user is doing something on the keyboard. So match.read, basically, as you can see, it's a blocking event over here. So it blocks until the event is available. Okay, that's what we are talking about. But a poll here comes to the rescue. You see now the non-blocking read. How to do a non-blocking read? Basically, you inside a loop will kind of use this thing. Will use a poll. Okay, and you provide milliseconds, let's say 500 milliseconds, and it will wait for 500 milliseconds and then quickly jump on to the else part. Okay, so we can do our, we can just basically, if a user doesn't do anything, we can simply always, again go to the loop, and it will again start. Okay, so it will look like kind of a real time thing, but as soon as even on the 10th millisecond, if a user pressed something, it will not wait for the entire 500 millisecond, it will quickly go over here. Now this is not blocking at all, because it will go over here, because on like it will only go on the match read, uh, because the if filter that we have applied on the top means that okay, the event has been provided, so it becomes a kind of a non-blocking thing. All right, it will only go because the user pressed something on the keyboard. So we'll do this thing. So let's start this thing. We'll start building all these things. We have the function over here. If I go inside this function, maybe this can help us. So I'll open all these things onto the next tab. Right, we already have the read over here. Let's go on the poll. Function is event available IO result bool. So basically timeout, maximum waiting time for event availability. Wait up to 100 seconds. So it will be like is event poll duration. So wait for the event availability 100 seconds. Returns immediately if the event becomes available. Okay, that is fine. It returns a poll basically. The poll is from the Crossterm's event. Okay, amazing. So a few things that we have to lay our foundation with is how to create basically a CLI application that do subcommands kind of thing. So basically we will build first of all the layout, the template, okay, the modules that takes the input and just pinpoint on that specific function definition, and then we'll start implementing our logic over here. Okay, so the logic is pretty it's a kind of a mediocre thing, because the only thing to distinguish over here is how to use poll, and inside the poll we'll just send the user to the specific function if the event is a read. The only thing important over here is how do you define if the user pressed the correct keyword over there, and how do you calculate basically the words per minute. Again we have to figure out, we have to like start the timer maybe somewhere on the back end, right? And the timer would be started only if a user pressed. So if you go on to the Monkeytype, and if I just restart the text by pressing tab and enter, you see the timer is not started right now. Also because I am just choosing on the words, right? So but ultimately if I'm calculating words per minute, that means per minute means the time interval is a very like kind of introduced here. So basically we have to track how many words, correct words, it typed between a minute, right? So to do that, basically you see the timer isn't started right now because I haven't pressed anything. So we have to implement some logic also just like this, that our timer doesn't start as long as I pressed any key, or this application or this CLI application that we are using, it doesn't start any timer until it receives an event. So we have to do something like that. Okay, and as soon as I type this thing, the timer starts. Now this is calculating my WPMs. All right, again let me just type enter, and you see if I just kind of make this application stale, it will throw some error after that, okay, that there is some error. So we can also do that. Okay, and basically on the else part we can just print something and close the application, basically just exit out from that thing. So yeah, this is what we have to do. Basically we'll have to first of all take the input from the user, what commands he's passing, and we have to show and process that sub command and generate words whatever he wants. Okay, for that we'll have a fixed set of numbers, and we'll use a rand crate to generate the random indices on that vector and just pull out those words, right? So we have to figure out that, and we have to figure out how can we show some colors on the terminal. That should be pretty easy, that we can search. So yeah, that thing, that how are we going to check whether a user pressed something or not. What we can do is we already have the correct vectors, right? We already have the vector of correct words, right, that we are going to show. Okay, now what we can do, as long as user types, we can maintain another array kind of thing, where we can say typed words we can keep. Okay, typed, and we can check on the indices of these two. If those indices match, even the space that a user types, we are going to push that on the vector. And we can check out for, index to index, like on the correct I can check whether the correct 0 equals the typed 0, right? So if those are equals, I can say okay, it's green, right? It's green. And if those are not, I can, always paint the word red, right? On the else part I can paint the word red. That means it's wrong, I mean user typed wrong, right? So this can be our logic to check what user types. All right, uh yeah, this is what we are going to do. So let's see if we have any improvements that we can do. We will always do it. And I can see we have 3 views and 1 like. So if you guys can, okay, so this is what we are going to do. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Basically, we are creating a typing, word per minute calculator. For that, we have to take input from the user, some configuration that the user want to start with. For our case, we are going bare minimum for, like, the number of words over here. And as long as user types something, we'll generate some words, and we'll track user key events, and we'll check if the user pressed a correct word. We are going to behave accordingly. If it's like kind of a mismatch, we'll show red. If it's correct, we'll show green. The crates that we are going to use over here is the clap, just to manage the input parameters by the user. Red and green will see something, I don't know. And for like tracking the user's key event from the keyboard, we are going to use Crossterm. The logic behind typing whether the user typed a correct word or not, we already have the correct vectors array, words vector. We can also maintain a vector of the user typed thing, and then we can just match the indices on both of them. So let's see how we can do that, and we are going to start in a minute. You have to give me a minute, I need to go somewhere like down. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Hey, hey, hey. Hello. Hello. We are back. We are back. So, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And we have 2 likes. That is good. 2 people watching. That is good. So, hello, bruh. What's up? What's up, Pookie? What's up, man? How you doing? Ah, how do I make money at 18-year-old? Okay, now some drop in which country, bro? I'm from India. India. Uh, so how do I make money at 18-year-old? So if you want to make money at 18-year-old, you have to invest few years onto something, on a skill, and after that you will earn a lot. Bro, I need money, dude. I'm sick of this life. Then you should kind of earn it. So try to invest on some, like I have less than 50 bucks. I really don't know. You know what, man, you should invest. Try if you have a mobile, then definitely you have access to internet. Then try to, gain some skills, and that skill will definitely pay you off. Trust me. So you know what I mean. Skills, bro. I don't have that coding thingy like other guys. Uh, what, man? The coding thing is solved pretty much. I mean, you don't have to be a hardcore developer to, develop websites. And trust me, no one is going to build website. I mean, no one is going to pay someone to build website. Those days are over, man. So AI is there. AI is doing it for you. You just need some ideas, some skills on how to, articulate all those things, and how to be an architect rather than a developer. So gain some skills, read about some technical stuff that you want to do, and let AI do it for you. I mean, if you just need something right now. But however, I completely undermine this thing, because I think that gaining a skill will. I'm looking to be my friend, made his cloth brand at 15, dropped out and make 1 mil per year, moved to another country, cut contact. Otherwise, I would contacted him and gotta be a partner. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like if your friends can do, you can do. I mean, you don't have anything right now, so if your friend can do at 15, so just try to trace back what he did, and you can go that path. If you work hard enough, you will definitely be somewhere. Like, there's a lot of stupid people in youth, like they will buy a simple hoodie at 150 bucks. Yes, I agree. I mean, those are not stupid people, man. They just have money, right? And if they like something, I think they invest. Same thing is in every area. That's why, what do you want? even he like went full silent mode, no friends, no talk, no calls. Yeah, do that. You do that too, man. You know, just go silent, work on a skill, and you're very young, man, 18 years old, so you should not worry about that thing. You know, anything about that. Yeah, 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 man. Okay, thank you for chatting. I really appreciate it, and good luck for your journey. I am sure you will definitely achieve something. So let's get back. Okay, so we have to do this thing. All right. Okay, let's work on this thing, CLI. For that, we need a crate called clap. Let's go. Clap. First thing, I haven't memorized any syntax, anything, right? I know how to work around, but I haven't like kind of memorized what to use. Okay, but what can I see here is if I go onto the docs of clap, I have all those things to how to make a sub command and something like that. So we are going to use on command. Let's go back. Command. So we need a sub command, right? Sub command. Into sub command. Basically, we don't need that too. Let's go back. I'm just looking for a sub command, how to make it, right? Basically, we'll have to do something like that, and over here we can just create an enum of those commands that we are going to use, but I'm not very sure what we have to use here because I didn't memorize it. Basically, we have to provide a sub command over here, a name and about. Let's see. Let's create a new project. Let's call it typing test, and let's go typing test and open envim over here. Okay, now we are going to create modules. That's what we are going to follow. So let's create a folder called parser. Inside this I'm going to create mode.rs, and over here I can just say parser.rs, and on the mode I can just say pub mode parser, right? And on the main I can just go and introduce mode parser. Right, let's go on the parser, and inside this we have to define our CLI struct or whatever we are going to do, right? So I'll say pub struct CLI, right? And here what I'm going to do, I can say pub command as command, right? Maybe commands. Okay, commands, and for the commands we are going to maintain an enum, uh, enum commands, right? And over here I can say right start and I can provide words over here, and that could be u32, right? Now let's do some macros thing. We have to do this, right? Derive parser, and we can use, clap, and you know what, I think we haven't even installed clap, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say add this thing, right? Cargo add clap features derive. Let's see why I am doing this flag over here, feature derive, because I don't want to open the toml file and update it manually and then do a cargo build just to in order to keep that dependency up. So let's see if I can. Yes, you see this thing has added. So let's exit from here. Now I have the clap parser, and I can just say like sub command, and I can provide a name and about, right? I can say typing speed test application. Okay. Yes. Guys, if you're watching this, let me know. So I can say WPM. I'll name it WPM. Okay, so that we can have something cool thing whenever I do a release. So I'll say WPM start, WPM, like that. Okay. Now sub command, let me just pull sub command from here. I think we have sub command proc macro. Yeah, let's I think we have to use this, right? Sub command. Come on, man. Sub command. Maybe I can get some intelligence. Oh man. Sub command. A trade bound commands clone is not satisfied. The trade clone is satisfied. Okay. Maybe I can just um, it was something like that. I haven't memorized this thing. I hope so. Let's see how to do that. Okay, so I have command over here that I can say version and all. So derive parser. Okay, so command, right? Maybe I can pass subcommand onto that and args vlf. What else I can get? Command line app, description command allows you to build command instance. Example command or get matches. Can I get a subcommand? Subcommand. Let's go ahead and say subcommand in lab. Definitely I'll get something. Derive parser CLI command subcommand. Oh man, so you have to do this thing, but I want to provide all these things, right? So derive subcommand. Let's see this. Simple subcommand. So command started. Okay, that is okay. Let's go here. Name version clap. So this could be, we can use this thing. We can't accept a variant like that, even they shared across a variant. Huh? So this is a subcommand, so we need to define this over here. Okay, subcommand, and over here I can just simply say derive commands the trait clone is not implemented for commands. So we can do this command like clap command, and we can pass subcommand, right? Is it? Dude, what I'm doing, man? What I am doing? Okay, but if I want to do kind of, create a name, so can say, let's go on over here, right? Let's go a few steps back. Maybe we can know how to. Okay, so we can provide like this version about partial debug, right? Default, like that. We can say command about and all. Simple program with reader person. Command to remove this, right? All right, so we have created this CLI. Instead of CLI, we can say args, and over here I can just check out for the commands that I get, and the command over here is start. That is a struct that take words. Okay, and on the main, what I can say is, instead of hello world, I can say right, and over here I can say let args equals uh, right, and what it returns is basically this thing. So over here I have all those things, and what I can do over here is, for now, let's see if I have the args display. And over here also we have to define debug, right? So let's do a cargo run. Do welcome to WPM test. As you can see, right, this welcome to WPM calculator, WPM test, WPM calculator, and I have all the usage. Why this is coming? It has the commands, right? Start and help. Okay, WPM calculator, I think this is the description that we have given, right? And typing test and the command. So why this is coming? Because we haven't provided any arguments onto it, right? So to do that, what I can say cargo run and start 200. The start is the command, 200 is the first parameter, or the the struct that we have created. It lands on the words. So if I hit enter, you can see args command is start, right, and it landed the 200 value onto the words struct. Okay, so now if I want to just say args dot commands dot, basically we have to do a matching here now. So what I can do is I can say match args. All right, I'll perform a match over here, and I'll say if it is command la 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 la, yeah, command dot start. If it gets landed on start words, what I can do here is I'll just print you the words just to see that okay, we are going right. Words. Now let's see if we are, this expression has type args, parser args, redundance and args, and use commands. Cool. So commands has something like that, right? So on the commands we'll kind of match those things, and we can write a complete pattern matching over here because we can have multiple commands, right? So basically we are just doing this thing. It's not asking us for the exhaustive case because there is only one thing on the enum, the benefit of enum. Okay, so let's see if I can just print out the words over here. Okay, words are 200, so that means we are able to access this thing, right? Now because it's in start, so basically we can create and write our start logic in it, start logic. And what does this show? It will show the words to the user, and we'll use our Crossterm create over here. Okay, and for that we'll create a separate module, right? So let's go and create WPM, we can say this, right? Over here I can just create mode.rs, and I can just create wpm.rs. On the mode I will just simply do this, and on the main I will simply add this thing. Okay, now we are good here. Let's go inside WPM and start implementing thing. What does it say, man? Node WPM. WPM.rs cannot find module. What did I I created WPM, I created this, I created this. Okay. I got it now. This file is not included. You have to remove this, and let's go on the main, and probably I can just say node WPM. Right, if I go inside this thing now, yes. So here we have to write our logic. Do you understand it by now that we created a clap thing where we can access all our thing, and once we are here we'll have to write the logic to show text on the screen over here. let's go on to the initial layout that we have done. So we have like I kind of did this, right? So now it's time to use our cross term create and the logic. And the logic is whenever I hit start run, it will first of all call generate words, and then it track users key events and trace if the user is correct, and green on the mismatch is a different thing. Now how to do that, how to generate a word, right? So what I can do over here is we can maintain the state, right? We have to maintain the state. So I'll say uh, so we can just create this thing user, and here we can maintain this thing. This could be a vector, right? This could be a vector. This could be a vector of string. Okay, so first of all we need to maintain this thing typed so that we can just match and all of these things. We need to have the words as well. Instead of word I can say, yeah, let's call them words. We can also have this thing. Can I do have this? Instead of all these things I can have this. I don't want to stuck and debug this lifetime error, so let's create the inefficient one first, then we'll go. Okay, we have typed, we have words, and what else we need? If I want to track user input, we have typed, we have words, right? Do we need to start a timer duration like that? I don't think so, because we'll be having a single thread application. So I need to generate words that will be generated, and this I have to show it to the user. And if user just rest or something like that, so that would always be end, right? I can also track user for words as well, so that I can do it over here. I think for now this is good. Let's do an implementation of these things. uh, pa, 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 pa. Right, this is going to return self, and we are going to return user from here, and these are typed would be for typed I think we can just do this thing. We can have something over here, right? I can say that typed as vector of string, right? Over here I can have a vector, let's say words, right? Let's say words. Basically it's not words, it will be words store, right? Let's say I have some words, okay, and it's a vector. So what I'll do, I can have it mapped, and inside this I will have something like that, and I can just say as dot to string, right? maybe do something like that. I'm just doing the initial layout, and over here what I can do, I can and words would be words store, right? Words store, cannot find words. Yeah, I know. We have to create a constant, some file over here maybe. Constants, and inside this I can have words store.rs, and over here I can just say public words store, or maybe words, and it's basically a vector of string, right? And I can have this thing over here. Now what I need to do is I need some vector string, so let's go over here. Can I copy this? Let's see if I can get the vector store from somewhere. I need those words, man. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it, man. Let's copy this thing, man. So good. So good. Uh, so we have this entire words list now. Well, you can say this. Expected an item. What the heck, man? Can I define a constant? I mean, this is how we do it, right? Or we have to maintain something. It's not constant, basically. We can say a variable on a file as pub const name. Yeah. There's a constant. You must declare the module and then import or reference the constant using the model file. Yeah, I can do that. So basically we have to do something like this. That's what I'm just doing, but it is like yeah, this is words I have, right? These are the owned words that I can just say put a map on it, and so this I have to use this on the main file. So I can say mode constants, right? And just to use the mode as a constant, I need a mode.rs over here, and over here I can say pub mode constants. Is it constants or word store basically? Word store. And on the main, I think it won't be an error now. You unresolved module can't find constants.rs. Concept right? So I can just say yours like that. Cannot call a non-const method slice impl in constant. Okay, so basically this is instead of like pushing it. What the heck? Let me just do a cargo build. Words this as to string dot collect. Try ignoring the field words. Okay, words dot map. Let cannot be for global. Consider using static or const instead of let. Yeah. So use create this with a word that name exists in self of words. That word store words. Okay. A field by that name exists in self. Allocation not allowed in constant. Type must be known. Okay, so this type has to be known. Detailed explanation over here. Yes, I know it, man. This is what I want to know. You know the law. It should be used as a define a constant reference to a slice. Define the constant in a separate module. So this is how it goes. Got it. And when we access this, use slice method. Word store. Maybe I can just call them word store, right? In the main, I can just simply go over here. And I can just say words store. Okay, I think I can't collect it. Let's see. So creates a slice reference to an anonymous array. It is preferred over this for constant word copying. Indicates necessarily for the entire duration of the program. So I can just loop like that, you know, and when I call these words, and I can just say words dot this, right? You cannot convert it at runtime. I cannot do this. The passing slice is usually preferred. You can convert it at runtime. तो रन टाइम पे कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं .2x से .2x dot map iter dot map. I think this is good, right? It says mismatched type. Expected this, found this. You know what, let's figure out how how to define. I need to just figure out this thing, how to define vec of a string slice in a struct. Let's see. You must specify lifetime and apply it to this. So I can do it like this, right? Initialization item hello world. So let's do this thing, because when I do this I have to define a lifetime, and then I have to define this over here as well, right? So that, oh man, so that it knows. hmm, I think we have to define here as well. Undeclared lifetime. Okay. And here I can use all these things, right? Typed over here I can use this, and vector of string because it's a slice, right? So I can directly use to vec. Now I don't think I should have this. Cool, we are good. So this over here I have initialized these things, right? Typed and all. On this thing we have to generate now the words as well. So the entire thing is over here I have to use rand crate. Have to use rand crate to get the random indices, right? So that I can get the value from that store. So let's see how to do that. I'll say use, you know what, maybe directly just go through the documentation. I'll just simply say rand. Let's open this thing. How's the stream going, guys? Am I audible? If you have any questions, feel free to hang out. So you know what, working with rand create, I must tell you something. So unlike JavaScript, like we have mat.random, that is not properly cryptographically safe, because those things are basically over the time they are kind of, we can reduce them, the outcome. But over here the rand create provides some methods that, that give us some cryptographically safe numbers. And why is that? So because it uses the entropy of this my system over the thing that is it is installed, right? And why is that? Because my system has some hardware as well, and that, you know do some ticks, right? So my operating system has a time, Unix time, and my hardware also, have some of the entropy. So this create, what it does is, some of the functions, if I want to, get the cryptographically safe random number, that is basically recommended. So what it does is it uses the entropy of the system as well. So basically it just an add one more thing to get the randomness, very strong. So we are going to read about this thing. Let's go on the documentation. Okay. So we are like kind of range over here. Crypto RNG, market rate, securely unpredictable, infallible RNGs. Let's go check this. RNG, infallible random number generator. We are going to use this definitely. Let's learn about this thing. A market rate for securely unpredictable infallible RNGs, and why it does that. So basically we have to use crypto RNG, right? If I install this thing rand create, I'll have the crypto RNG thing, used. And if I use RNG, then it is a substrate of try RNG, that for infallible generator, but those are not, I think, cryptographically safe. These are random. Genetic product uniform range sampling sequence in product SN and trade over RNG provide any many method what might expect. So implement try RNG for this, right? Let's see. These are the traits that, if I want to do some cryptographical thing. Random iter, random range, random RNG. So RNG will be the function that we have to use. Now let's see. Numbers dot shuffle mute rand RNG. So RNG, traits are this random ratio RNG. So basically we have to use this trait to generate some random numbers, and we'll generate them as up to the range what users provide, right? If I say 20, then I'll generate 20 random indices and pull out the words on each of the index, right? And we are going to collect that thing on and then provide, send back it to the user, right? So we can say how to generate cryptographically safe random numbers in the. So I mean, why I'm pushing this thing to generate cryptographically secure random number? Why? Because if you want to generate some random numbers, you should generate them cryptographically safe, right? You don't need to generate, them like that. So as you can see, it says to generate cryptographically secure random numbers in Rust, use the rand crate with OSRNG, which sources entropy directly from the operating system. What's that means? It means that it is going to use some parameters of my operating system as well that could be infinite, right? So we are definitely going to use this thing, and I'm not sure if OSRNG is provided now with the latest thing, because I think the default function is uh, used to, like kind of uses this under the hood. So yeah, let's add rand crate. Okay, it's added. I hope so. Yeah. So here what we have to do is we have to just add mutable random number generators, and then we'll generate them, and we'll have to generate them, you know, up to the words that user provided. So what I can do is I can just use this for 0 to self dot, you know what, not self basically. I can just use a range thing. So over here I will definitely use a self and a range that is of type u, and that range is going to be used here, right? And what the hell, man? Should I do the whole thing over here? Should I, or should I start a separate function? Because as soon as the user types something, I need to start all those things, right? Let's see. Hmm, hmm, yeah. So we have the range over here. So if I go on to the main, I can say I have to, I think, initialize this over here as well, or should I do it on the start? Let's see. For now, let's I mean, do it over here. WPM is equal to, wait a minute, uh, user, right? Yeah. Uh, so I can just say user equal to, I'm very bad at nomenclature, by the way, so you guys have to like leave me out of it. And over here, let's see, what do we have? Are we getting any, you know, randomness? Not randomness, basically the constant words. So user dot, you know, let's see the words. Let's see, what do I get? Doesn't implement display. Sure. uh, this is not going to run, so I'll just not use this. unused variable. Yes, we are going to use it, but let's diminish this thing for now. Let's not care about warnings. Cargo run start, let's say, yeah, 20 200 maybe. Yeah, let's see if we are able to see all those things. Yeah, so this is being initialized, right? This I can see that this thing has been added. So basically, you can say if words, you know, I don't want user to put some gibberish over here, so I'll say I'll just use second line of defense over here. I'll say let parsed words, it will be u32 words. So I'll have to create a function out of it. So I'll say user dot parse, not user. Basically I can just use can I use this thing, or maybe on the parser over here, if I go, either I can create a separate word, or I can just do it over here, words dot why is everything going out of my mind right now? Okay, this is, what is this? If I go in commands, it's a u32. So it's already there, right? It's already there. So if I just say weapon invalid value, yeah, that is good. Okay, see how clap help us to do most of our heavy lifting. Okay, so clap prevented us by when we define type on that enum, clap prevented it, and give throw out some of the default messages to the users. So yeah, that is, we are good over here. And now let's see user dot words here, right? What I can do over here is user dot I can just generate, I can generate the default. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to return a result, because I don't want if there any error occurred, I want it to be shown to the user, right? So on the OK and on the error as well. So if there is any error, I can just simply println the error, and probably exit from the application. Error occurred. I'm going to show this to the user, and I'll simply process exit one. All right, and I'll get an E over here, and over here what I'll do is I will get some words back, and I'm going to print those. Maybe you know what, this cross term provides another way of, instead of using the default println, I will use cross terms, functions, that could have some, because it helps to do things around the terminal, right? So I'm going to use it, but for now I'm going to show this. Now I have to use this thing, generate, right? And if I go over here and over here, I have to create another function, generates, public function generate, that is going to return this thing, of course, because it's a result now. So I'm going to use result over here, result vector of this, and you know, and on the generate, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this self. I'm not mirroring anything, I'm just reading values out of this. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna use something else. I'll receive the range, so I'll do this, right? And over here what I'm going to do is I'll create a utility function that will definitely not be public, that will be available only to this struct. From there I'll get my random words, right? And I can say them generate words. No, it's not about generate. Basically separate function, should I call it, or should I do it over here? Maybe generate random will give me this thing, and I have to loop it on up to the range. Let me think about it. No, let me think about it. So what I have to do is I have a range, and let's say I want 10 words. Okay, so the first one comes, it will start from 0. I want random number, so I need to generate a random number. I'll call this function, it will give me an index. It will pick it from the vector and push it onto the new vector, and that's how I'll have my random vector, and I can pass it around, wrapping it in okay. Or if I directly, no, that doesn't make sense, right? I have to query it each time. So basically what I will do is I can say word store, and over here I can say generate index, right? And then I can say dot push. let this is wrong, man. Right, and I can just now say random, or maybe, you know, let item. Basically we can have this over here, 0 to range, right? And over here what I can do is let item equals words store and generate a random number, generate index. Basically I'll have the index over here, and this way I'll have that thing, right? And I am thinking of it to be this, right? And then I'll say random words dot push item, right? And once this is all over, I can just say this. Now here's the thing, because I have to return error in case of any error, so what I can do is method if I get a file I will chat it with that. Yes, because we have to create this function each time. So I'll say let generate generate index u32 equals generate index, maybe, you know, I can just call it random index yeah, random index, and I can just store random index. Okay, now this random index could throw an error, so I'll just use question mark over here, because question mark can be used to propagate the errors to the top, and it can be used inside the function where I have declared result. So that means this generate index thingy should also be a result that I can do, you know, it will return u32, and it should not be public, by the way. So I can just use let rng equals do we have some os rng or rng use this, leave it by generate random range. Let's go. parsing loop, how to enter range, a random range. I don't know. The I have to provide the range as well, right? Up to the length of the words, so that it doesn't, check. It doesn't just give me an out of bounds error. Let's check out some of the. We have these sample code pieces over here. No, sir, no. Documentation is over here, and what I'm looking, man. What I'm looking. We have the documentation here, right? Click start. Let's go. Constant pi up to. So we have this from negative pi to the positive pi. This is the range. And what's inclusive, exclusive? We don't know it right now. I want to generate a random number. Fast pre-initialize generator. Numbers dot shuffle. Okay, it will shuffle. So basically we can have a simulated die roll, true or false, random number, right? This method panics in case of sysrang failure during initial seeding. I need, what are the methods around it? These are the method: fill, make, range, random, random bool, random iter, random range. Let's check out this thing. Using local RNG handle to save initialization check on each uses. Range. Generate a random value in a given range using thread local random number generator. Yeah, I think we need something like that. So it's getting a float, so it'll doing this like this and this. Mary had a little lamp, split dot collect, and I can just get the random number from here. So basically we are going to use this random range. So I already have the rand, right? Random range. So let's do this. I have to provide a range over here. So instead of RNG, I'm gonna use a random range, and the range over here is 0 to words store dot length, right? I'll have a random range. Basically it generates a random value in a given range, so that makes sense. Is it it returns only this thing, right? Whatever I say over here. So u32 like this. Come on now. I'll just call RNG from here. Mismatch type, expected u that I do, and found u size. Right, and then I can just, you know what, let's return u size from here. I think this is good. We should use u size because the words, the length is not too much that we can use this, right? So we should use size over here. cannot find generate index. Let's do this thing. Self, we should have used self dot this thing because it has been initialized on the very top, right? So I can just say self dot words. Okay, cannot find generate index. So now here I can just say self dot generate index. The operator can only be applied to the values that implement. Obviously it's not providing any result. View size, and I can just say this, and over here I can just do an OK on RNG. Cannot borrow random words as mutable. Okay, so I have to use this generate now. Let's go on the main and let's call generate, and it needs a range, so I can say words. I'll provide words. Okay. Returns T. It won't return any error. Mary had a little lamb. Is never read. We will definitely read this, sir. You don't have to worry about it. I'll have a range, and this range basically I have to basically unwrap it over here, right? So if I get any error, then I can just throw it up, and if it's not, then I can unwrap. Okay. I have some issue over here, but let's see what else we can get. Maybe I can just unwrap on them. It's not an associated function that I know. Let's see how it goes. Start, let's say 10. So these are the 10 random numbers that I'm watching over here, right? Use a turn mean, under mean, many, system in, face. So basically we are here now. Instead of like doing showing this thing, we have to show it, present it well. So let's go on the, what was that? Come on, Crossterm. Let's go on the examples. Let's go over here, right? I want a basic thing. Okay, so cursor dot move to. Okay, so standard out. You can pass custom buffer right to this queue operation. This command will execute on that buffer. The most common buffer is std out, however std is used sometimes as well. Assemble command API with the cursor command. Flushing bytes to the terminal is a heavy system call. Okay. If we perform a lot of action with the terminal, we want to do this periodically, like with the 2e editor. so that we can flush more data to the terminal buffer at the same time. Yes, I completely agree. So basically we have to use this. Let's use this thing so that we can flush, and move operation is performed only if we flush the buffer. And this means the data has to be shown to the terminal, right? We have to the queue function returns itself, therefore you can use this to queue another command. And some other code, move operation is performed, and then we later finish this thing. You can pass more and more command to the queue like that. And cursor, the execute command itself, you can pass more and more. Okay, so print a rectangle colored with magenta, and now this is good, and use both direct execution and lazy execution. Okay, this is to print q std out cursor dot move to this style dot print content. Okay, like that dot magenta. Yeah, we can do that. This is very helpful. Definitely we are going to use I think this is stdout.execute create terminal create type all, but direct execution, lazy execution with macros. If I use execute, I think we should do this, right? Okay. So I can generate, and once I have this thing generated, I'm going to use this thing over here, right? So we can just say let mute std out right. And we'll directly call execute over here, execute macro, and that execute will be from Crossterm. So I'll say use, haven't I installed Crossterm? I think no. So cargo add how is the stream going? Stream health is excellent. Okay, let's do this. So this is installed. Let me exit this. Now I can use execute over here, and I can pass in the standard output, and here I can just say words, right? Is it okay? Print styled content. I have to use print styled content as well, because custom style, because I want to make it like this, right? So I have the style, and and over here I can say words dot to Gray. Okay, it says magenta. uh, I have style of this. Let's study out. Let's remove this as well. And remove this as well. Let's see if I want to unexpected. Okay, so if I want to use a stylized thing, so words basically is and inside this I want to print like this. Magenta is stylized. So let's do this. Now instead of magenta, I can say dim, right? I can say dim, and inside this I can say words. Will that be no method because it works only on, I guess, strings? So do we have to run a loop around here? Let's see. Using colors on items in vector using the Crossterm crate. To color item in vectors, you must apply styling to each element. Yeah, does not support dynamic. So because you will stylize trait, modern idiomatic approach or the command API. No. I want to. Yeah, I think this item and color. So basically we have to loop it over here, and instead of a new line we can just print. So the words here we can call execute on each of the thing, right? Yeah, see, this execute is inside this thing. So this execute has to be can I do this words dot map iter dot map, and over here I have the item, and over here what I can do, I can just I can dot map error here as well, but no, that's fine. I have the item over here, right? So I can say execute steady out and print styled content. Over here I can just say item dot dim, right? And this basically will return a result, right? It returns a result, so I have to do something. I need to do something, man. If it's okay, I don't want to do anything. If it's an error, I want to print that error. Now it will say a mismatch error, right? No? That is good. Are lazy. unused map that must be used artificially into nothing. What's that? Uh, we'll see, we'll see. Then we are going to print error on the new line, and we can execute this right now. I can execute this once this thing is over. Execute, right? What's that reset color? Okay, execute, and once this loop is over, I can say again, I can say execute. What about that thing? Crossterm plus. How about this with the macros instead of execute? Okay, this thing is execute, and in this loop we are more efficient by not flushing the buffer. Okay, so we have to use Q. Right, and when I use Q, I can flush, and I can just print out everything on the terminal. But what I can see over here is it's just executing, right? This is a preferred method of terminal application as it allows you to queue commands efficiently and interleave styled text with other terminal action. So I must say, should I use execute or queue? What's up, people? So it says use queue when performance matter, and it uses queue on the lazy thing, right? This is the default thing where we just do like this, and we have to use macro. Let's see. Use execute when simplicity. You are running a single command or few independent command. Example, clearing the screen once at startup, printing a single status message. Immediate feedback. You need the user to see result immediately after the command runs, and the performance cost of flushing is negligible. You don't want to manage the flush call yourself. Note that execute is essentially a queue followed by immediately flush. Okay, few things that we learned over here is the difference between execute and queue. You are building a frame of GUI application where the entire screen needs to be redrawn at once. Yes, we want to redraw. You want atomic update by batching commands. The terminal renders the final state all at once, preventing the user from seeing intermediate states like cursor moving, character, na. You are executing any command in a loop, many commands in the loop, drawing UI, printing colored vector. Queue buffers command and write them in a single system call. When we manually call flush, let's see. I don't know, man. Let's see. Maybe I can just flush it right now. So I have used Q, right? Q. I can just flush it. Just flush it, man. Execute. This is the thing that I can clear at once. Q, and now flush. So I can say std out dot flush. So it also returns a result. So let's handle that as well. Uh, 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 let's see. Okay, let's see if we can have this thing do what we wanted. Cargo run start. Let's say 20 words we want. Be 30. Oh my god. I think is due to the iter map because it returns nothing. Yeah, which is likely not what you wanted. So basically, let's avoid using this thing and avoid using this thing and just say this for item in words. Yeah, now this will work. It was warning us, by the way. What? We are getting this thing. I don't trim.dim, and also I want it to be with the spaces, right? With the spaces. Shakka hunda hi. Okay. That magenta. But I need them to be space separated because I am watching this, so it should be like right part while hit people most like that. So how to do that? Let's see if there is any documentation that we can follow. It says if reset, so uh, uh, So we can use execute here because this is going to be run only once. So I take one argument, but I get it. What? Mismatch type. Of course, of course. Mm. Cannot add this. So basically we have an issue here. So the issue over here is how do I add up a space over here? Either I can just have those vectors have already spaced at the end, but how to yeah, on the terminal. So I think that would do. Oopsie, why didn't I think of it? I know, man. uh, uh, like that, and I can just item to it instead. Because I'm using trim, that is why. Is it? You know what, let's see this thing. I think I unnecessarily added some few things. So now instead of this I can use formatted text. I think this will do now. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So this will print, and I have this thing, right? Just like I do this, but here I have to put a loop now just to listen for the events, right? Yeah. And also this cursor should move from here to the very on the very first of it, right? So this way I can type on top of it and just throw an error like that. Okay, so it's like that. And now here I have to wait for an event. Okay, match.q. I have the words over here, match.q. And one thing I need to know, how to move cursor. So basically Crossterm has some features. If I go over here, it says it has something like cursor, cursor dot move thing, like move to, right? Enable blinking, disable blinking, restore position, like that. So I can do that too. So instead of 1010 I can just say move to 00. Does that make sense? Once I have this thing, I can just say execute, because maybe q, right? But again I have to check for the errors and all, uh, but we are already doing this thing, right? Flushing all the things, so it's all right. I mean, we have to do what we have to do. And I can just say move to move to, and what it takes, u16. So should I use 00? Probably. I have a camera here, so that's why I have to lean in to watch my thing. I really don't have to do anything here. And I have an error over here that I can simply copy this. Okay, so yeah, we are here. My brain is not working right now, but anyone knows how to remove the from text and rest? It's not. Uh, maybe I think it's the issue of this thing, right? How are we like kind of printing that thing? Because if we are using this thing, print star content and formatted text, is it still showing this percentage sign? What? It's closing. Oh my god. Are we having an error? Oh my god. Oh my god. What happened, man? Okay. Is it going on the 0, 0? Is it? If I completely remove this thing, I think it will work. Right? Okay, 0, 0 is basically over there, right? And I have to say how to move cursor using Crossterm to the start of the line. Cursor go to 3, 7. So these are the row column, right? Move to the column. I can say column 1 of the current line. Yeah, this makes sense. Move to column, and I can just type 1, right? Using move to next line of the previous line. Instead of move to 0, 0, move to 0, 0, I can just say move to column 1, right? Now let's see. Oh my god. What's that? Basically what I'm doing, if you go to the Monkeytype and if you just hit tab enter, so I'm at the very top over here, right? So write how some many first same like this. So we are kind of building this. So for that, once these words are displayed over here, so we are also displaying them like this, right? If I just remove this thing, so we are also showing the text like this, right? Random text like this. Okay, but the issue is this thing, the command, the cursor over here is on the very end. Instead it should be over on the top of O, so that I can print and just check what's beneath them, right? Like this, right? Like that. You see, whatever I'm typing, if it's wrong, then it is going to tell me, right? Like this. So that's what we need, right? We have to kind of to make a user feel they are overlapping, so that I have to make this cursor over here on top, right? So Let's do this. Commands must be let's put the charger. All right, so how is the stream going, guys? Are you getting what I'm doing here? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, you know what, I saw something. It says let me just go here, create highlight video, stream marker, share, and start break. So I think this will, you know, add a break kind of thing, feature. I guess my stream is going well, I think. Yeah. Move to 10:10. Move to 11:11. I would move to execute restore position. Okay. Cursor action enum with command. Please have a look at command documentation for more detailed documentation. The documentation does not contain a lot of examples. The reason that's fairly obvious how to use this crate, although we do provide example repository capability. Move right, move to column 1. So is it like taking the column 1 from the right, from here to here? So returns the cursor position, right? It will, let's see if we can get the position. Uh, no. How can I comment this thing? I forgot the code for commenting, right? The GC. Oh yeah. Basically, you have to go GC. Yeah. I forgot, by the way. Okay, so I need to execute, or how to kind of get the cursor position, right? Position. Return the cursor position. So I can say Q position. No method by response for the enum rather than the current one. Okay, it returns a result. So U16. I don't think this will work. So basically what I can do, let you know start as U16 and end at U16 equals I think I'm getting a call. Just give me a minute, guys. I'll be, because my camera is on the use, so just guys, I'll see you after 5 minutes. We're on the break. All right. We are back again. So, I think most of our work is done. We just have to, now do all these things where we have to kind of move the cursor so that a user can type. So let's do this. How to move the cursor the very to the starting of the terminal after, not after, basically using Crossterm, right? I printed a string with dim and I want the cursor to be at the start on top, at the start, to give a on top feel to the user. So let's skip the reading document part. Command with coordinate 0 0. That's what we did. Move to 0 0. Move the cursor to the very top left, the terminal. Print new content immediately. I don't want it to be on the top. To reset the cursor position, flashing execute mode. I don't want to. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now that we have access to all the features of terminal, can I do just instead I can do this, right? Maybe I can just use this. Can I? This way it will clear up all the terminal, I guess, right? And it will move to the very top. I think so. So let's see. It will do something like this, right? It's basically quitting, right? Quitting, right? After printing all those words and fleshing out all those things, let's create a time bomb. Mismatched type, expected unit type found enum. match user to generate in OK when I get everything, when I flush all those things. But I need to flush those as well, right? Now implementing loop, what I can see here is I need to adjust the cursor as well. I print the entire thing, and then I want the cursor to be moved. And I want the cursor to be moved. And how did it doing this? I'm saying move to, right? Move to, move to. 0, 0. Right, this optional and okay. Okay, I think it is moving this to the very top. This is good. I think we are doing it right, I guess. But it should also show something, right? See, it is going over here, but where is the text? Text is gone, right? I can type like this, so I should type on top of it, but I need the text below as well. Let's close this thing before it fills our operating system. Okay, move. So basically we have to loop it over here. All arms diverge. Move to cursor is removing the printed text. Basically it's clearing the terminal. So let's see. Move to command does not clear text, only change the cursor position. If your text disappears, likely due to one of the two reasons. Shell overrides on exit. Okay, after moving the cursor, the shell often clears the line. Dimmed text at the bottom. Move to new text on top. Wait so that the shell doesn't clear. What the heck? Basically I should have to like I have to show cursor on the start of the line of the printed dimmed line so that user can type on top of dimmed text. So I kind of gave this the little bit of gist what we are doing. Okay, you move the cursor to the start of that specific line. Ensure raw mode is disabled so terminal handles standard text input normally. Print dimmed. Move cursor back. Use move to column 0 to jump to the start of current line. Crucial for standard typing. So disable raw mode, which should be there. Clear screen for a clean demo. Execute set attribute dim. Print, enter your command. Reset color. Okay. Move the cursor to the start of the line. This important. Disable raw mode. If it was enabled, characters typed by the user are not shown automatically. We need standard mode for the user to see the type of the name. Yep. Something we are getting on the track over here. So basically we have to clear all everything. This makes sense. So basically on top of it we can execute clear, right? Yes. Std out clear and clear all, right? This we have to do. Clear type all. We don't have to use this clear type, so we can do in this clear type all, and after that we'll are going to do this. After printing out everything, what we can do is, after we have written everything, I want to move to column 0, right? So this prints all our words, and now I want to move to column 0 and move to column 0, and once I do that, in raw mode, character types by the user are not shown automatically. Disable raw mode. So basically we have to disable raw mode. So over there, if this goes well, we can just execute, or maybe terminal disable raw mode, and after that this thing. Let's see if that works. Any code following this match is unreachable. Yes, because we are using this shit. Sorry. Let's see if it clears out everything. Nice. It clears out everything, but also the printed text. I don't want to do that, man. Right, I don't want to do that. Just put cursor exactly where enter begins. Read line. I don't have to do this. I will listen for the keyboard events. Specific command to return start of the current line without changing the row. Requires knowing a row number. It doesn't. Used for games where you capture every key press. Typing does not appear on screen unless you manually print it. So on the visual override, we can show this thing. Raw mode used for games. Typing does not appear on screen unless you manually print it. Used for normal input. The terminal automatically echoes typed character and handles backspace. You must be in a standard mode. But let's not do this thing now. Why I'm looping this thing? Okay, because I want to see if I don't kind of do anything over here, the program just exits, right? See, it exits, it clears the top. Type this thing. Maybe I can just after clearing I can just use move to move to 0 0 and then start implementing. Yes, so it moved to 0 0. It moved this two over here on the left and on the right. Okay, but I cannot see the text that has been written. Why is that? Why is that? Do I have to do this? I'm sure it's not flushing, right? Oh man, it's not even showing the text. So we have to show this thing. Oh, it is shown over here and the program exits. So basically this is what we will see on the typing thing, right? And we can always have this thing on the center. See my OCD. This is the not an OCD by the way, it's ADHD. I'm working on something and eventually just move out to something else. I can get the width and height and I can get this thing. Clear all, execute, move to row column, set attribute, print and reset color. Keep live to see result. Can we do that? We can always do a GC over here and flush it, right? You know what we have to do? Yes, yes. Now I'll be like, I can remove this thing because we are not doing any heavy thing, right? So now I can execute all these. Right. Maybe we can use this std thread dot sleep, but only after execute. Cannot infer type parameter e declared on result. Let's see. Hey, yes, sir. You see that a is on top of it, right? So let me just show you. If I do this, you can see COURSE, like, so it's working. Now I just read about something, right? Some raw mode, something like that. Where were we? Disable raw mode. Okay, so this is working now. Instead of putting this thing to sleep, right? Instead of using this thing to sleep, we have to first of all remove this thing, because I just want to see the errors and all. But anyways, so instead of using this thread sleep and all, what we can do, we can poll for the user input here, right? We can poll for the user input here, and when we start polling, then we can track the user input, and that's it. We are good then, right? Let me just show you. If I just do this, currently I cannot see it because it's very fast, right? But if I can just use a thread.sleep, you guys can see it, right? Okay, so I think we have been live here for about like more than 3 hours. So let's take a break. So this is stream. You have covered most of the let's remove Q first of all. Clear is what news import, right? Position, what else? Yeah, cool. So I think we have learned pretty much how to implement all these kind of CLI apps. So basically we have kind of implemented this thing, but we only need now to track the key events and show the results and error based on that events, and that will be good. So we started from scratch. We know nothing about this Crossterm crate, but we digged deep. And if I can sit for another 3 hours, I could sit for another 3 hours, then we must have like completed this application. So this thing, so Yeah, I think we are good here, right? We understand how Crossterm and this crate works. We understand how to manipulate cursor. We understand how to show text and printed their style and all. Those are cosmetic, but right. And we also took the CLI input from the user. Also created a user crate this over here that has the lifetime annotations, as we are using a string slice over it, right? And we have a word store and all these things like generating random numbers and all. So that is it for today's stream. On the next stream we are going to complete this thing. So yeah, I think this is good. This is a good start. We have done 50% of the thing. 50% is the only is the logic building now, so we don't be needing any documentation to view, right? The only documentation we need to see is due to the crates that we are using, like this Crossterm crate, right? We haven't worked with it. And yeah, and on the next thing we will build the logic around it. I already have told, right? The logic is pretty much clear over here. We'll manage, we already have the vector of correct thing, and whenever we type something from the recorded events, we are going to push it on the typed thing, typed vector, and from there we will match index to index, right? So if it's a match, we are going to keep it green or something, and if it's not, we are going to show it red. And by the end we will have our word per minute calculator that will calculate how many correct words within a minute we have written. Hope this makes sense. There are few nuances as well, like if I press backspace, that thing from the typed should be popped too. So I mean, that's very obvious thing. If we are going to push any event onto the typed vector, then we have to remove it also if we press backspace. So that's the logic building part that we will do on the next stream. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and if you have any questions, feel free to come on the comment section of this stream. Once it's over, I'll be happy to answer. All right. Yep, I think stream went well. We have 2 likes, 32 views. Great. Okay, guys, bye bye. I'll see you on the next stream. Maybe you guys can try that too. It's very beautiful project to replicate Monkeytype on the terminal. So yeah, bye guys, I'll see you on the next one.